Hey guys, I've made a full day of it at the shop, sitting out here on the front porch, resting a little bit, and I've been thinking about a story to tell you all day today. I'm gonna tell you a story that's involving toy trucks, uh, a big old sharp knife that I wasn't supposed to have, and me cutting my leg. So that's the thing that's gonna be in this story. So try to listen to all of it if you can. I'm gonna take you back to a time when I was probably 10 to 12 years old, maybe somewhere around in there. It's summertime. We're out of school, and we had we had trucks that we played inside with that was nice toys, and we had trucks that we played outside with that didn't matter if they got dirty or muddy or messed up or whatever. These particular toys I'm talking about are the toys that we played inside with, and we had 18 wheelers, metal frame, metal body, 18 wheelers. It was probably about they were probably about 12 inches long or better. Was about the size of them, and we just got to collecting them. I guess Mom and Daddy was buying them for us for Christmas and birthdays and whatever, and we come up with a pretty good pile of them. Me and my brother. But some of them you would buy wouldn't come with a trailer. It would just be a truck. So Daddy, working at a machine shop, he got to building us trailers. And when I say building trailers, I'm talking about these trailers look just like you scaled down a real full size trailer and just shrunk it down. I mean, it had all the features, was built exactly like what you would see going up and down the road, very detailed. And he didn't always have wheels and tires, so he sent a letter to the company that built these trucks that we played with and told them what he done, and they actually sent him a bag full of axles, wheels, and tires, and he got to just making trailers for us. We had log trailers, pulpwood trailers, grain trailers, low boys, and seemed like there was something else, but I can't recall right now. But anyway, we had all kinds of trailers. So I decided to cut me some wood for my log trailer. Well, I got to looking around outside the house. Now, this is all just me outside playing. This ain't nothing about me talking to my mama, because she was the only one home. Daddy was working. So I just decided to go out and look and trying to find me something to put on my log trailer. So I ventured out across the field, headed over towards where my granddaddy lives, and I remember there was a fence row back in the back. It went through a gap, headed over to his house, and it had some good limbs growing up in a bush that was about the size I wanted for my log truck. So I needed a way to cut them. So Daddy had also made himself a knife. I always thought it looked like a pirate knife. It had a, a hump in the middle of the blade, and then a sharp point out on the end of it that kind of turned up a little bit. I wouldn't be scared to say this blade was probably 10 to 12 inches long and extremely, extremely sharp. So I go to his gun cabinet and I get that knife out. He had a scabbard built for it and everything. And I got that knife out and decided that's what I was going to chop my limbs with. So I slipped out of the house somehow without Mama knowing it. Went across the field to the fence row. I'm probably a quarter of a mile away from the house now. So I take the knife out of the scabbard and I bend the little old limb over And I'm cutting pieces probably 1 inch in diameter. That was about the size I needed for my log truck. So I bend the limb over and I start hacking down at the bottom of it. And I'm cutting, and I get the first one cut in two, and I'm doing pretty good. Except when I pulled up and looked at that knife, the limb I was cutting had a lot of old juice in it, and that juice was kind of staining the blade on that knife. And I had a brand new pair of Levi's on, and I'd seen my daddy take a knife and drag it across his britches leg to clean it, and I didn't do it the right way, and got that blade turned towards my leg, and drug it across that pair of jeans, and cut through the pair of jeans and cut into my leg. Probably, I still got a scar even right now, that many years later. I still got a scar that's probably about 2 inches long, maybe, across the top of my thigh. And it cut me, I'm talking about like a bad cut. Started bleeding immediately. It scared me to death. I didn't really know that I was cut that bad. All I knew is I'd messed Daddy's knife up because it had a stain all over the blade from the little limbs I was cutting. And I could also feel wetness running down my leg, and got to soaking through my jeans and could tell it was blood. So I took off back towards the house, and I knew I was caught then. I mean, I was in trouble. I had a cut pair of brand new jeans on and a knife that I was not supposed to have with stains all over the blade because I cut a limb with it. So I was just trying to figure out, what I was going to do. But I head back to the house, and in my thinking, just being a young kid, I guess I was still thinking of ways I could get out of it. Well, I make it back home, take the knife and put it up. At first, Mama don't even know anything about this. I go put Daddy's knife back up, and I go in there where she's at, and she immediately sees the blood and my leg and all that. Kind of panics, takes me to the bathroom, pulls my britches off, and I'm cut open. I mean, you could lay it almost. I remember it being like you could lay a finger inside that cut. I mean, it was gapped open. So she washed me up. Wasn't even really fussing at me at this point in time. And I really and truly, other than just being talked to about why in the world did I get the knife out, I didn't really, I guess because I got hurt, I didn't really get in that much trouble for it, but I knew I was in trouble in my mind because I knew I was not supposed to have that. And so anyway, the knife's put up, Mama's doctoring me up. I mean, this day and time, if one of mine would have been cut, it would have probably been a trip to the emergency room. A big deal would have been made about it. Facebook posts would have been sent out. People would have been praying, and all kind of stuff like everybody does nowadays. But when I'm 10, 12 years old, we just go to the bathroom, wipe it up, clean it up best we can. And I remember Mama just taking Band-Aids and, pulling all that back together, taping it, Band-Aiding it the best you could. And finally got healed up from the blood scabbing over, and we was good to go. And like I say, I got a big scar across the top of my thigh right now. But those are just things that's different from when I grew up, and like my kids now, or anybody this day and time. And this is still in 2023. And I mean, this probably happened back in the early 80s. I'm going to say early to mid 80s. And I'm again, I've told this before, I don't feel like I'm of that age that I would consider things back in that time to be like, oh, but compared to this day and time, it really is. I mean, things were just different back then. And just the playing outside, and everybody picks and talks about, drinking out of the water hose, riding your bicycles up and down the road, being gone till it gets nearly dark and then coming home. Uh, that was just things that we did. That was real life. That wasn't just talk. That wasn't just, people of this day and age talking and telling some story about their life and they just mentioned that. That was just the way it was. I mean, building ramps, jumping bicycles, riding down the road, riding away from the house and being gone for hours at a time, coming back just before dark. All of that was just things that we did it. That was things we done and didn't think nothing else about it. It was just a fun time for us. But anyway, just a little quick story. Just trying to add to my library of videos I can put out. So I'll be telling these stories from time to time as I can think them up. Stuff that happened back when I was a young boy or a young kid, and things that happened around the house, things that happened to me while we was out doing stuff. And as I think about this old stuff, it just opens up memories back to stuff that we used to do. So I'll probably come up with more stories. They're not always going to be some funny tale, but it'll be something that'll just bring back memories for folks that's anywhere near my age. But just if you enjoy this kind of stuff, like and subscribe to my channel. Again, I'm just doing this for fun. If something gets right and takes off, good. If it don't, I just enjoy, or I'm getting to where I enjoy doing this a little more. So getting a little bit of feedback, just a little bit from some of the stuff that I do. So I'm just gonna keep it coming. Uh, like and share, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you on the next go around. Thank you.